Today is Donald Trump's first full day as the 45th president of the United States. This morning, the president is waking up after spending his first night in the White House.
After being sworn into office on Friday, the president and First Lady Melania Trump attended 3 inaugural balls last night, including one honoring the military. But it was not all a celebration. More than 200 anti-Trump demonstrators were arrested during a day of protest in Washington. Some set fires or threw bricks into windows of businesses. A second day of demonstrations is expected today as tens of thousands will gather for the Women's March on Washington. Nancy Cordes is at the Capitol, where Donald Trump took the oath of office. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, and there is no question it is the dawn of a new era. Donald Trump woke up yesterday morning in the president's guest house as a billionaire who had never held public office. He is waking up today in the White House as the most powerful man in the world. Hail to the Chief greeted the president and first lady at last night's first inaugural ball.
And I stood tall and did it mine.
They were joined on stage during the inaugural dance by the Vice President and Mrs. Pence and the Trump family. Mr. Trump posed this question to an audience of revelers.
Should I keep the Twitter going or not? Keep it going? I think so.
The late-night celebrations capped a day of tradition. It began at the historic St. John's Episcopal Church, a block from the White House. While Mr. Trump was there, the 44th president left a note in the Oval Office for the 45th. Then Mr. Trump and his wife Melania crossed Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House, and Mrs. Trump presented a gift to Michelle Obama. After coffee and tea, Mr. Obama and Mr. Trump rode together from the White House to the Capitol, where members of Congress were waiting, along with the nation's 8 Supreme Court justices, a bipartisan group of former presidents, and Mr. Trump's opponent, the former First Lady, Hillary Clinton. Chief Justice John Roberts swore in the new president just before noon.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Greeted with a 21-gun salute, the president made it clear change had arrived in Washington.
The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action.
On the National Mall, supporters savored the speech.
But I hope he can do at least half of what he said he thinks he can do.
Per tradition, now former President Obama and his wife Michelle boarded a military chopper after the ceremony, taking one last look at the White House before flying to Andrews Air Force Base. At the Capitol, President Trump signed bills formally nominating members of his cabinet. And at a lunch in his honor, Mr. Trump tried to set a unifying tone.
Tell you, there is something that I wanted to say, because I was very honored, very, very honored, when I heard that President Bill Clinton and Secretary Hillary Clinton was coming today. And I think it's appropriate to say, and I'd like you to stand up. I'd like you to stand up.
And then the parade. The new First Family followed a well-worn route to the White House, lined mostly with supporters, but there were pockets of detractors too. The family arrived at the reviewing stand a little behind schedule, and after a jam-packed day, sat together to take it all in. The president then took a break from the festivities to sign an executive order in the Oval Office, instructing government agencies to begin lifting requirements related to Obamacare, a move he had vowed to make on day one. The relevant agencies and Congress are now trying to figure out exactly what that means. It appears that this order releases the agencies from any responsibilities of imposing the costs associated with Obamacare, like the individual mandate that requires all Americans, Alex, to buy insurance.
Nancy Cordes at the Capitol. Thanks, Nancy.